A night at the hospital, Clara, a 27-year-old nurse, pushed open the door to St. Victor's Hospital, an old building tucked away in a remote corner of the countryside. It was her first night shift, and the smell of disinfectant mixed with the dampness of the aged walls twisted her stomach. She had fled a painful past years under the control of an abusive partner to start anew here, in a hospital where no one knew her story. Yet from the moment she arrived, an oppressive sensation gripped her, as if the walls themselves were watching. The night shift was quiet, almost too quiet. The dimly lit corridors stretched out in silence, broken only by the hum of fluorescent lights and the steady beep of monitors. Clara checked patient charts, trying to ignore the chill running down her spine with every creak of the floorboards. The other nurses, older women with weary eyes, had given her cryptic warnings. Don't linger in corridor B after midnight. She had laughed, thinking it was a prank to spook the new girl. Midnight passed. Clara was finishing her rounds when she heard a sound, a faint rustling coming from corridor B. She froze, her heart pounding. Just the wind, she whispered to herself, but her hands trembled as she gripped her flashlight. She moved forward, her footsteps echoing in the silence. At the corner of the corridor, she saw a figure. A woman, dressed in an outdated nurse's uniform, stood motionless, her back to Clara. Her black hair hung in wet strands, as if she had just come in from the rain. "Ma'am, are you a patient?" Clara asked, her voice shaking. The woman didn't respond. She turned slowly, and Clara's blood ran cold. The woman's face was deathly pale, her eyes empty, a milky white, and her mouth stretched into a frozen, almost cruel smile. A musty odor filled the air, and Clara stumbled back, tripping over a medical cart. "You shouldn't be here," the figure whispered in a raspy voice, as if speaking through a veil of smoke. Then she vanished, leaving only a biting cold in the air. Clara ran to the nurse's station, her heart in her throat. She tried to convince herself she had imagined it, but the other nurse's words echoed in her mind. The next day, she questioned Jean, the hospital's longest-serving employee. Jean looked away, uneasy. "It's her," she murmured. The nurse from Quarter B, her name was Marianne. She worked here 30 years ago, they say. She was killed by a man, a patient she was involved with. He beat her to death. In that corridor, she's been coming back ever since. Always at night, Clara felt a familiar nausea rise within her. Memories of her own past, screams, blows, fury surfaced. She wanted to run, to leave this place, but she had nowhere else to go. So she stayed, night after night, hoping to avoid Corridor B, but Marianne kept appearing each time closer. Sometimes Clara felt an icy hand brush her arm or heard a whisper in her ear. "He'll find you." Words haunted her, reigniting the terror of her past. She began seeing shadows everywhere, jumping at every sound. Her colleagues looked at her with pity, thinking she was losing her mind. One night, during a raging storm, the hospital was plunged into darkness. The backup generators struggled to start, and Clara, alone in Corridor B, felt a presence behind her. She turned and screamed. Marianne was there, inches away, her twisted smile wider than ever. "Like me," she hissed. "He broke you, and he'll come back." Clara collapsed, tears streaming down her face. She felt an invisible hand tighten around her throat, and for a moment, she saw her ex-partner's face, distorted with rage, superimposed over Marianne's. Then, the lights flickered back on, the figure vanished. The next day, Clara resigned. She couldn't stay in that hospital, where every shadow seemed to carry the mark of her past. But as she left the building, a chill ran through her. In the reflection of a window, she thought she saw Marianne standing behind her, whispering, "You can't escape." Clara quickened her pace, but deep down she knew the fear would follow her wherever she went.